Dr. Arnuld Engelbrecht, Dr. Katy Withers, homeopath with Optimum Care. Katy, please, we would like to discuss leaky gut. Can you tell us what it is, how it works, and how it affects your body?
Okay, so I know that having a leaky gut can sound a little bit intimidating. No one wants to sort of spring a leak in their body, but it's not that bad. Most of us, to some degree, actually have a little bit of leakiness or permeability in the gut. It's also called intestinal hyperpermeability. So basically, our gut is made up of lots of tiny little cells that sort of fit together in a sort of finger-like structure. They all interlink. So if we're getting technical, they're basically called your desmosomes, and they're linked together by tight junctions. So what we want to do is we want to keep that gut as tight and as linked as possible. Your gut naturally is slightly selectively permeable, so it allows digested food substances in, keeps bacteria and toxins out, basically. Now what can happen is if your gut lining gets damaged, those tight junctions and those desmosomes get damaged and it can become a little bit leaky. So the best way to think of this is imagine the boundaries between two countries. They're very well monitored. You've got your frontier wall or your boundary wall. If that boundary wall is well monitored and whatever's meant to stay on the inside of the country stays on the inside, whatever's meant to stay on the outside stays on the outside, the army that's defending that boundary wall is going to be relaxed. They are not going to be all aggravated and wanting to fight. The human body is exactly the same. So you can imagine your gut tube, or your gut lumen. Your food substances that are undigested, bacteria, toxins, are meant to stay in that lumen, and your body differentiates between friend and foe, what's digested food, and it selects what's meant to come through that gut lining. Now, if your gut is being irritated, maybe by a food sensitivity, a food that you're not able to break down, by bacteria, by toxins in your diet, by chemical substances, what's going to happen is that gut lining will become inflamed and irritated, and it can become more permeable, so it can allow more foreign substances through. So we allow bacteria, toxins, whole undigested foods to leak through that gut lining. So that's like foreigners without a passport jumping over the border, and the army says, hang on, we first need to see who you are. And if they're dangerous, the army starts to fight against them. So our immune system...
And that causes the inflammation.
Yes. Our immune system on the other side of our gut wall then says, hang on, you're not meant to be here, you're foreign, and it mounts an immune response, which can range anything from a slight allergic response like mucus production, to seasonal allergies, to eczema, asthma, right up to autoimmune conditions like rheumatoid arthritis with inflammation in the joints.
So Katy, you're actually telling me if someone's battling with rheumatoid arthritis or some autoimmune illness, it can actually be caused by leaky gut. Leaky gut can be the underlying cause or symptom.
Yes, yes. Majority of our immune system is actually housed in our gut. So as soon as our gut lining is out of balance, the immune system is going to be dysregulated. It's going to be out of balance. And that's one of the leading causes of autoimmune conditions. It's our body's own immune system not knowing what to defend against, becoming too inflammatory and attacking itself. Your brain and your gut are massively linked. So have you ever heard someone talking about the gut feeling, or that your gut's your second brain? Your gut is really important. So what we're going to be chatting about today is how to clear up leaky gut, how so very many of us have it to differing degrees, and what we can do to improve our bodies by healing up and preventing it from becoming a serious issue.
Okay, thank you, Katy. So what you're basically telling us is gluten is part of the enemy soldiers, and the gluten is then leaking through the gut wall. Am I understanding you correctly?
Yeah, for many of us, gluten is quite a large protein particle, and it's not so easy for our body to break it down. So it is one of the big offending agents when it comes to leaky gut. It also, because of the way that gluten and wheat products, gluten-containing products, are sort of milled and processed nowadays, they're not so great for us, and we're getting very high levels. And they do secrete a substance called zonulin, which is actually similar to what some bacterial species secrete. So if you get a bacterial gastro or bacterial gut infection, it can often cause leaky gut or irritation to that gut lining. Now, the slightly scary thing is that gluten and quite a few of the foods that we're eating are also able to produce a similar reaction in the gut, where we get that same almost reaction like you'd get from a bacterial gastro. You're actually getting it from your foods. So knowing what foods to eat, your big ones are your dairy fats,
I think
your
you're
grains,
answering my
your
next
gluten.
question. So basically, it's not the same food for every person.
No.
So you need to identify what foods your body is sensitive to. And if you eat the
Absolutely.
wrong foods, those are the foods that's going to break through the barrier or the gut lining. Am I understanding you correctly?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, wow. Thank you, Katy. So how would you treat it? What would you do at Optimum Care to help these patients overcome the symptoms?
Yeah.
I mean, you were even talking about autoimmune illnesses being triggered by leaky gut, for a brain fog. How would you explain to your patients what to do step by step to get over this problem?
Yeah. So there are a vast range of conditions that you can actually improve just by getting your gut health to an optimum level, and that's what we're really interested in doing. So starting with your 7 foundations of health to get your body into a really good quality state to start off with. So if you want a little bit more information on that, you can visit our optimumcareonline.com, take a look at our 7 foundations of health link. We've also got a video on that you can check out. Our 7th foundation is actually all about the right foods for your body, knowing your body and knowing what foods agree with you. So we do quite considerable food sensitivity testing at our practices.
So people can phone in, they can book an appointment, and you will actually test them to tell them exactly what foods to eat and what foods not to eat.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
So that's probably the most important one of our 7 foundations when it comes to leaky gut, is making sure you're getting in the right nutrition for your body specifically.
Medicine-wise, would you...
Yeah. So once that we've got those 7 foundations sorted, we're going to start looking at 2 very important pillars when it comes to healing leaky gut. The first pillar, detoxifying your system. The more toxins you have in your body, the more inflammatory your gut's going to be, the more irritated your body's going to be, the more sluggish your colon will be, the less your liver's going to function really optimally. So we do want to clear out the body. And again, if you want some more information on how to detoxify your body, you can check it out on our website, optimumcareonline.com. So that's our first pillar, detoxifying the body. The second really important pillar is the right kinds of medicines or supplements to heal up that body. So when it comes to supplementing to heal leaky gut, we like to use the 5 R's because it simplifies something that can otherwise get a little bit chaotic. So our first R is to remove, second R is to replace, third R is to re-inoculate, the fourth R is to repair, the fifth R is to prevent reoccurrence. So basically what we're going to be doing here is removing any irritating food substances, any toxins, any buildup in that intestine that could be causing irritation, inflammation to the gut lining. The next one, we're looking at replacing. If you're not able to digest and break down your food properly, it's going to ferment in your gut. And a lot of us that are quite stressed, we don't take time to chew our food. We don't take time to look at our food, to breathe before we're eating. We don't digest our food properly. So a little bit of assistance sometimes with some digestive enzymes or hydrochloric acid, betaine hydrochloride, can really assist, can make a massive difference for bloating for most people. So we've got our remove, we've got our replace.
So Katy, on the replace, are we talking also about probifloras? What is good, what is not good?
That's our next one. So that's our next R, where we talk about re-inoculating.
Wonderful.
Probiotics are so important to our overall health. We have more bacteria in and on our body than we have cells in our body. So increasing the good bacteria in the gut can improve your health in just about every aspect, not only gut digestive health. So we want a good quality probiotic. I prefer fridge-based probiotics because the bacteria is kept living. Cold chain, which means they're kept cold at the supplier, they're delivered to you cold, they're kept cold at your practice, they're taken home to the patient's home, nice and cold, kept in the fridge. Every day you take 1 capsule at night, ideally with your omega oil for extra benefit. So we're looking for probiotics that have things like your lactobacillus acidophilus, your Lactobacillus rhamnosus, your Lactobacillus paracasei. You don't need to remember all of these names. If you can get soil-based organisms like your Bacillus subtilis, absolutely fantastic. So a really nice broad-spectrum probiotic with a very high level of your good bacteria in.
And Katy, just to simplify things, if one would make your own goat kefir or something like that, would that work, or would you rather buy a product?
Fermented foods are beautiful for you. We're looking at your goat's milk kefir or kefir, kimchi,
sauerkraut, things like that.
Sauerkraut, kombucha tea, absolutely beautiful for the body. The more fermented foods you eat, the better your gut ecosystem is going to be.
Good.
So yeah, lovely there. We've got our remove, we've got our replace, we've got our re-inoculate, repair, the big one here. We need to heal up those gut membranes, or else we're going to carry on with the same problem once that they're damaged. So it's almost like you see these walls behind us. If there's been so much damage, inflammation, irritation to that wall that the cement has broken away and the cement in between each brick has now been degraded, you end up with those gap junctions in between the bricks.
So you want to re-plaster the bricks.
Exactly. We need to plaster that wall up. So we're looking for supplements like that contain things like your L-glutamine, inulin, your prebiotic factors to feed the good bacteria that are going to break down your food, form more sort of substances that are going to help us to rebuild that wall.
So to help you guys rebuild and replaster your colon lining, we've developed a product called ColoCare. Which I would like to show you. You buy a 0.2 kilogram tub and it contains everything she's just talked about. You will find your L-glutamine in here in the right quantities to reline that colon lining. You will find your inulin, your prebiotics, everything pre-mixed. You just take 1 scoop in the morning on an empty stomach, preferably in the morning on an empty stomach. As Katy said, we need to plaster those brick walls closed again, and that's why you take it on an empty stomach. This will have your gut lining in good shape in no time.
It's also got a lovely mixture of other amino acids, which are your proteins, your building blocks for the whole body. It's got a beautiful balance of your vitamins and minerals as well.
Just strengthening the whole system.
Yeah,
good.
It's an all-in-one package, so that's quite nice. Our final foundation, well, our final sort of R of our 5 R's when it comes to healing up, supplements to heal up the gut, is preventing reoccurrence. And with that, we use our 7 foundations. Again, leading a healthy lifestyle long-term. We don't want you to buy your ColoCare and be using your ColoCare every single day, but not really getting the full effects, the full vibrance from your body. We want you to use it in conjunction with your 7 foundations, really healthy lifestyle, so that you're moving from strength to strength to strength to strength, healing your body.
And medicine will never cure you. What we want you to do is change your lifestyle, add the vegetables, add the superfoods into your diet to make sure that your body is getting stronger and stronger day by day, that you can just move forward in your health.
Yeah.
Thank
so
you,
one
Katy.
extra little thing that we just want to chat to you about today is to do with candida. A candida overgrowth, small intestinal bacterial overgrowth, just that imbalance in the gut that causes the bloating, the constipation, the lethargy. Will you tell us a little bit more about how we at Optimum Care help people to heal it, keep it away, get the gut feeling really well?
Thank you, Katy. Candida, the scientific name for Candida is Candida albicans. Red flags or warning signs that you should look out for is moodiness, irritability, fatigue, bloatedness, winds up, winds down. It literally affects your whole system. Candida usually starts growing in the gut, but it can definitely spread to other areas of the body. We've seen patients with Candida growth in the mouth, on the tongue. We've seen patients with Candida literally all over the body, Katy. So what we do at Optimum Care to make sure that the Candida goes away and stays away is we use 3 ways of treating Candida, where the first is eliminating sugar. Candida feeds off sugar. Candida, it grows on sugar. So what you want to do is you want to eliminate all sugars from your diet. You want to eliminate whole sugars, putting it into your tea, your coffee, over your porridge, and you also want to eliminate foods that turn into sugar. These are your baked foods, your refined foods, your bread, your biscuits, all those things. Alcohol, Candida also grows severely on alcohol, and and
vinegars.
There we go. All those foods.
Any sweetened food, any food that's sweetened with high fructose corn syrup, your commercially bought yogurts.
There we go. The second thing that you want to do is obviously add a Probiflora. Katy has already explained that to us, and you want to make sure that you're not just taking the dosage that they mention on the label, but double or even triple that dosage to make sure that the good bacteria can overtake that growth again in the colon. The last thing that you want to do to combat Candida is obviously add a medicine, an antifungal that is strong enough to put the Candida out of its place. So we've developed olive leaf extract. It is a natural antibiotic, it is a natural antifungal, it is a natural antiviral, and the antifungal properties is more than sufficient to go into your system and kill that Candida off. You want to take high doses. The olive leaf comes in a small container like this. You want to take high doses, 2 capsules in the morning, 2 capsules in the afternoon, and 2 capsules in the evening while you are trying to combat Candida.
The other nice thing about olive leaf extract is that even though it has an antibiotic action, it doesn't have any harm to the good bacteria in the gut. So it helps to kind of push the bad guys out of place, and if you use it along with a colocare, which stimulates, it has your prebiotics, which are basically like the foods for the good bacteria. You're pushing the Candida out of place and you're allowing the good bacteria in the gut to grow and replicate, and that also helps to sort of starve the Candida out almost.
Candida will go away if your bowel movement is between once and 3 times a day. If you are constipated, if you skip 2 or 3 days before you clean your bowel, Candida will grow. Please visit our website www.optimumcareonline.com to look at our LaxiCare product to make sure that your colon is moving regularly. Otherwise, have a beetroot juice. Beetroot is one of the best natural laxatives that I know, Katy. I drink a juice daily.
Yeah.
Eat your vegetables, eat your fruit, and your gut will thrive.
Another nice little tip that goes along well with our LaxiCare is ground up nuts and seeds in your smoothie. We're going to be making some smoothies. So if you want to take a look at that, have a look at Optimum Care Online for some of our healthy smoothie recipes. Yeah, thanks for your time today.
Thank you.
And that's all from us.